And we're back in the Transport Fever 2 thing. We are here at Snodland, I think. Yeah. And there are some mainline trains doing the mainline thing. Okay, let's first do the frame rate check. Which one is laggier? Close in or far out? Not going to make a difference to how I go about moving the camera, but at least we'll get an idea. Okay, so we're close in, and we get this sort of response. I mean, this is responsive enough for me, believe it or not, but it might not be for most people, and it might be a bit jarring to watch. Oh, ew. Okay, we have that issue going on as well. And then up here, it's laggier up here. Okay, now, I bought a thing at the end of the last episode. I bought 2 trains actually, and they set us back quite a lot. As you can see, we are minus 55 million, which has probably put our company score down quite a bit. So yeah, we will have to sort that one out today, because it's not like we're going to be able to build anything. I'll find a way. I mean, I probably won't. We're probably just going to end up doing a network tour, which is well overdue. So there's a 4-sig with the lights off. Really, are we skimping that much? Ooh, the skipping. Ugh, that's jarring. Right. No, the buttons aren't up there. First, our overview. Fastest growing town is Harpenden, biggest town is Southwold, and the 1K club and within the 1K club are Southwold, Leytonstone, Exeter, Fleet, Andover, and Bishop Auckland. The next one to join the 1K club at this rate is either Whitehaven or Corby. Whitehaven is closer, but Corby is growing significantly quicker. So, that's the town overview. Now the lines overview. Our least profitable line is just under half full, RF Southwold, and so far it is losing us 7.1 million roughly. These 2 passenger lines we're going to tackle today. Our most profitable line is Harlow to Harpenden, which is making us 11 million, followed closely by the main line. Oh, well, not closely at all, followed by the main line, and then the main line is followed by the high-speed line, which in turn is followed by RF Harlow. Now that that's out of our system, ooh illu indeed. Okay, I've just had an idea to make RF Southwold more profitable. So at the moment, what RF Southwold does is it comes up and it follows the main line on the side all the way out to here, where it takes this junction and comes down this line through Harpenden, and it tracks the passenger line around to Southwold. So from Redhill to Southwold, it travels twice or even 3 times the distance it needs to. And here we have a line that goes from Redhill to Southwold. In fact, we even have this as part of the junction where it connects, so it'll be very jarring. But if we change this to connect onto that, and then move this train into that platform, we can make the freight a lot quicker. And so Southwold becomes significantly more profitable because it's not travelling as far as it was. to cover the same A to B distance, or point to point distance, it's technically not going as far. Magical. And here is almost the perfect place to do it. I say almost because it's not I don't think it's big enough, but we're going to have to work with it. Now, difficult to do that right now because we're making a profit this year, but we have been consistently losing money. And like I say, my plan to tackle that is efficiency. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. So, this line, manage vehicle, you're only carrying 37 at the moment. Nope. Yeah, replace with. Uh-oh. Yeah, this takes a while to load. Hopefully we don't crash the desktop. Well, it's loaded. Well, I've started opening snack, so we're gonna have to wait. There we go. Trust me, I'm almost there. There we go. That is snack open. You. Just some dark chocolate today. I do like dark chocolate. Dark chocolate is a friend of mine. So, we're going to replace this rather fantastic train with not diesel. Although, let's have a look at what we have. This is the ÖBB 5042 modernisiert mit Flash. Oh, mit Flash. What is, oh, is Flash the name of the new logo? Probably. Ooh, the 4020. Hello, hello. Well, what we also have, I mean, this will maintain the speed, and the Metroliner is good for profit, but at the same time, that's not the motif I'm going for. That will maintain it closer to the speed, but I think the capacity is still too high. The capacity here is 84. Let's do it. Oh, wow. Really? Is it going to cost us money? I'm shook. I'm actually shook. There is literally nothing I can do until we start making money again. That is a massive shame. I guess Network Tour it is. So here, Red Hill Branch, this is one of the first things I put in. Well, I put it in as part of the first episode or the second episode. And we still have the original complement of routes. The two internal lines of Red Hill, and then one regional bus line to Warwick, which isn't running that full. I mean, the railway line did kinda ruin it, but you know, eh. They're people that would otherwise be in cars. And there's our green sig. And there is our mountain thing. This is Warwick, where it all started. You can definitely see that there in this. And that I attempted to do detailing, and you know what, that looks kind of pretty. The houses that have grown on the tile. Here at Warwick, the situation is inverse to that of Redhill, in that we have one city bus and 2 regional bus. Following the city bus network along, we have Cheltenham. Cheltenham has grown a lot. It's now about 4 times as big as it was when we started. Jesus. No, I wanted the... Oh, there it is. Yep. So here we just have a city bus. Wait, really? Oh yeah, because the regional bus goes in there. And we also have this, which takes the construction materials that get stopped here and distribute them to the industrial district, which is, I don't know, there. That is RF Corby going to get filled up with stuff. Continuing along the main line, we have Snodland. Snodland is relatively recent. The train station has 2 lines that go to it, the main line and the Romford to Rothbury line, while this tram station, has 1 tram route that stops there. CB320, the Snodland Internal Commuter, which is using these rather fetching Vienna trams. One more stop down the line, and Exeter. Exeter stopped up at the same 2 lines as Snodland. Rather than a bus station, we just have a bus stop outside the station, and it is stopped up by City Bus 321 Exeter Internal, which is another tram using these single-decker versions of the double-decker tram in Snodland. Over in Rothbury, we have the main line, the Shaftesbury to Rothbury line, or the Rothbury-Romford line, being joined by Cheltenham to Corby, Herne Bay to Pickering, Cheltenham to Corby is the main line. Yes, we have the main line and Romford-Rothbury joined by Herne Bay to Pickering, Leytonstone to Rothbury, and Prince's Risborough to Rothbury. Up here, at Ashby de la Zouch, we have 3 lines: Herne Bay to Pickering, Leytonstone to Rothbury, and Prince's Risborough to Rothbury. And within Ashby de la Zouch, we have City Bus 324, Ashby DLZ. Here, just away from and train utilising Ashby de la Zouch is this junction. We'll come down that line in a moment. Here in Folkestone we have 2 train stations and no internal transit. There is Folkestone Halt, which is stopped at by Herne Bay to Pickering and Leytonstone to Rothbury, and Folkestone Transfer, that really need better names, which is stopped at by Prince's Risborough to Cleckheaton. Then we have Pickering, which is stopped at by Herne Bay Pickering on the route to Rothbury, that's Herne Bay Rothbury. Then we have Leytonstone to Rothbury, and Princess Risborough to Cleckheaton. Continuing down here, we reach Sandown. Sandown is stopped at by Mountain Rail, Sandown to Herne Bay, and Regional Rail Warwick to Sandown. And within Sandown, we have Regional Bus 102 from Redhill and Regional Bus 107 to Herne Bay. Within Herne Bay, we have Herne Bay Terminus, which is stopped at by Herne Bay to Redhill, Herne Bay to Southwold, Sandown to Herne Bay, Guildford to Herne Bay, Herne Bay to Pickering, and Helpenden to Herne Bay. Here is Herne Bay to Redhill. There is no bus station as such within Herne Bay, but what we do have is Regional Bus 107 stopping at Church Road, along with these other stops, forming an internal commuter for this side of Herne Bay. Here we have the Mountain Railway with the lovely sort of spirally type of thing going on there, and another Mountain Railway, although built a lot more lavishly with big viaducts and tunnels. And we arrive into Southwold. Southwold is stopped at by Mountain Rail Herne Bay, Mountain Rail Herne Bay Southwold, Mountain Rail Redhill to Southwold, and Regional Rail Andover Southwold. Southwold also doesn't have an a bus station as such. Instead, Park Road is just a street side bus stop, and it is served by City Bus 311, 319, and Regional Bus 110. Progressing down the railway line, this is Harpenden. Harpenden is stopped at by Andover Southwold, Harlow Haltwhistle, or Harlow, Harlow to what's its face? Harlow to this one, Harpenden, Leytonstone to Romford, Harlow to Leytonstone, and Harpenden to Herne Bay. Harpenden is overdue a rebuild, actually, because I want to make Harpenden a lot bigger. The station, of course. Coming back down this line, but going straight at the junction, we find ourselves coming up upon Egham. Egham is stopped at by Harlow to Leytonstone and Harpenden to Herne Bay. The tram stop here, named the Avenue, is stopped at by City Bus 317 and 318 and Regional Bus 110. In Egham we also have these bus stops rather nicely laid out in this junction. Following the main line, or following the line, to Wednesbury proper, it is stopped at by Leytonstone to Romford and Harlow to Leytonstone. Oh no, my chocolate appears to be melting in my hands. Why, you should never hold your chocolate, always put it down. Because now I'm going to be eating a squidgy, smeary mess. And Wednesbury is unique on the map as far as I'm aware, for having 3 stations. We have Wednesbury proper, Wednesbury Sidings, which is stopped at by Harpenden to Herne Bay, and Wednesbury Annex, which is stopped at by Leytonstone to Rothbury. The line through Wednesbury Annex and the line through Wednesbury proper combine just after some tunnels and arrive at Newton the Willows, which is stopped at by Leytonstone to Romford, Leytonstone to Rothbury, and Harlow to Leytonstone. Newton the Willows has a bus station, which is stopped at by Regional Bus 111, from Stroud to Newton-le-Willows, and the internal trams are City Bus 314 and 315. The main line continues for one more stop to Leytonstone. Leytonstone Station is stopped at by Camelford to Leytonstone, Leytonstone to Romford, Leytonstone to Rothbury, Leytonstone to Street, Wigan to Leytonstone, and Harlow to Leytonstone. And it's packed. Leytonstone has an internal tram network that got off to a rocky start. Ow, you bit my tongue. And it is stopped at by City Bus 307 to 310, and Regional Bus 106 and 108. Most of the city bus routes, I think 3 out of the 4 city bus routes, actually don't have anything running on them, because in the early days there were problems with pollution. Coming down this railway line, the Leytonstone to Street line, we first hit Skegness, which has no internal transit, and Skegness Station is stopped at by Leytonstone to Street. Coming down the line, we hit Whitehaven, which is stopped at by Leytonstone to Street only, and has no internal transit. Our next stop on the line is Midsummer Norton, which again has no internal transit and is only stopped at by Leytonstone to Street. The next stop on the Leytonstone to Street line is a junction with the Harlow to Harpenden line at Fleet. After a junction, the Leytonstone to Street line is joined by another line. Well, no, it's not then. The Leytonstone to Street line joins the other line, while a branching line goes to Bexhill-on-Sea, which is not connected quite yet. Continuing, our next stop is at Haltwhistle, which is stopped at by Harlow to Harpenden and Leytonstone to Street. After Haltwhistle, our next stop is Westerham. Westerham is stopped at by Harlow, Haltwhistle and Leytonstone to Street. And Street is the end of the Leytonstone to Street line, with potential for expansion out this way for a line towards Harlow and indeed Grantham. Now let's keep going this way. So from Westerham, we continue to follow the line to Harlow, and we reach Harlow itself, which has no internal transit, and is stopped at by Cheltenham to Corby, the main line, Harlow to Haltwhistle, the line to Harpenden, Harlow to Romford, the high-speed line, and Harlow to Leytonstone. To briefly cover the stations that we have passed on the main line, we have Corby, which has a bus station with City Bus 303 for Corby and Regional Bus 404 to Harpenden. Corby itself is stopped at by the main line alone. The next stop on the main line, and the last one, is Andover, which is stopped at by Andover to Southwold, the main line, the high-speed line, and Leytonstone to Romford. Andover has no bus station as such, and is only stopped... it has no bus station as such, but George Street functions as the bus station, and it is served by City Bus 302 and Regional Bus 103. Heading back to Harlow, geez, we're talking seconds per frame here. The line splits into 3. The first line goes down and has its first stop at Marston Moraine, which is served by Cheltenham to Corby, the main line, and Harlow to Harpenden. Marston Moraine has no internal transit. The lines briefly form a 6-track arrangement here, before all peeling off and going their own way. Following the high-speed line up, our next stop is Stafford, which is stopped at by the high-speed line and Harlow to Hordwhistle. Stafford has internal transit. It is City Bus 327. The high-speed line continues up to Grantham, where it finishes its run. Grantham itself is stopped at by the high-speed line and Cheltenham to Corby, which is the main line. There is no internal transit at Grantham, but the infrastructure for it is in place. Continuing this way, we have a triangle junction with a stub that is going to be continued to Brierley Hill and beyond, and the main line serves Chipping Camden, which has no internal transit and is stopped at only by the main line. Coming this way, off the junction, we have Redcar British Steel, which is a reference to the real Redcar British Steel, near Redcar Steel Mill. It just had to happen. And here is Redcar Central, named after the real Redcar Central. Coming the other way, we've got to follow the Leytonstone Street line all the way back to Leytonstone, I think. Yes, that would be a good idea. No, I don't think it would actually. Let's come to I then. I has facilities built in the station for an additional line to come through it, which is very nice considering it goes to Wigan, which is very, very busy. My eyes are hitting me right now. I has no internal transit and is stopped at by the Harlow to Harpenden line exclusively. There is this chonker of a level crossing. I would fix that. And the line descends. Well, it doesn't really descend. Does it descend? I don't know. It's just that there's a lump. Into Wigan. And it's stopped at by Camelford to Wigan, Harlow to Harpenden, and Wigan to Leytonstone. Coming out the other way from Wigan. Let's take the junction first because we've already been to Leytonstone. We have Stroud, which is stopped at by Camelford to Leytonstone and Camelford to Wigan. Stroud has grown quite a lot in recent times. In Camelford, we have Camelford Station, which is stopped at by Camelford to Leytonstone and Camelford to Wigan. Autosave, time to drink. challenge we're having with Camelford is that no one's in range. Heading out this way. Now we're not really going to connect to anything because it's just going to be better. Hopefully. We have these forks. Or these, yeah, you get me. So down here we have Guildford and Princess Risborough. Guildford is stopped at by Guildford to Herne Bay and Guildford to Princess Risborough. There is this shuttle line going to Princess Risborough, which is stopped at by Guildford to Princess Risborough to Cleckheaton, and Princess Risborough to Rothbury. The next stop up on the Guildford branch is Maryport. Maryport has no internal transit and is stopped at by... I just want to click on the station. Don't make me zoom in. I guess I did. Maryport is stopped at by Guildford to Herne Bay. Just here we have Rye. Rye is stopped at by Risborough to Cleckheaton only. And has no internal transit. Next up on the Risborough branch is Stocksbridge. Stocksbridge has no internal transit and is stopped at by Risborough to Cleckheaton only. The lines connect about here, and they go through the mountain and reach Linton, which has no internal transit despite a very, very confusing road network. And Linton is stopped at by Guildford to Herne Bay, Risborough to Cleckheaton, Risborough and Risborough to Rothbury. Continuing down this way, Kidderminster is stopped at by Guildford to Herne Bay, Leytonstone to Rothbury, Princess Risborough to Cleckheaton, and Harpenden to Herne Bay. And it is packed. It also has no internal transit, but the residential is mostly over here. Generous tunnelling follows to Kingsbridge, which has... I think we've already covered Kingsbridge. Hope we have. Okay, good. That's all this covered. Brackley is not connected up yet. So now to go the other way. From Linton we have Marlborough. Marlborough is probably the biggest reason why the line isn't making any money. Alfreton doesn't have any internal transit and is stopped at by Risborough Rothbury only. Camelford over here is fine, I guess. It's not connected up to anything, but it will be connected up with buses. It will not have a train service. I think I've just got... No, I haven't. Not yet. We are still not done. So, coming up from Warwick, we have this branch line. This is the high-speed line, although it doesn't look it, because this isn't the high-speed section. This is. Just this. And we have Romford, which has no internal transit, and it is stopped at by Harlow to Romford, the high-speed line, Leytonstone to Romford, and Shaftesbury to Rothbury. There we go. Well, Shaftesbury to Rothbury is Romford to Rothbury. Can I stop saying Rothbury? I need to stop saying Rothbury. It's not comfortable. The human tongue is not designed to make those sounds. Portslade has no internal transit, although it's quite long, so it could benefit from it. And it's stopped at by Romford Rothbury. The Romford to Rothbury line carries on to its next stop of Chester. Chester has no internal transit, and it is stopped at by the Shaftesbury to Rothbury line, and it has a very, very chonky station building, because why not? The next stop is Todmorden, which has twin island platforms, which is very nice. Or no, not twin island platform, just an island platform. Next up is Shaftesbury. Shaftesbury is where this line started, hence the name. And it has no internal transit of its own. Now, as far as I can remember, that is it for our passenger network. I will now consult the OBS gods. I have been recording for 37 minutes. Without spending a penny. Uh-oh. To say, I don't like the way it's like skipping. Like, you know, it's got that sort of CD skipping. Ah yes, here in Rothbury we have this thing, which is fine, I guess. I mean, not the prettiest, but it's fine, I guess. And Rothbury is kitted out for trams reasonably well. Yeah, we're just about able to make money. We're scraping by. So yeah, I'm gonna need to take out a loan, and I'm gonna do that, and we're going to make our network a little less bad. So, the first way we're gonna do that is we're going to make Red Hill, not Red Hill to what's it, well yeah, Red Hill to what's it, but the RF what's it, we're gonna make a lot better by simply nope. Okay, so pause the game, and I'm going to borrow so that we are 10 million in profit. Well, 10 million in the green at our bank balance. No, I'm not. I'm going to go until 20 million. Because, you know, we might need the overhead. There we go. 20 million plus a smidgen of overhead. Now I'm going to build tracks. It's like, oh, look, it's a track. But actually, that's the track we're starting from. There we go. And there is the first part of how we're going to fix RF Southwold. Well, enhance RF Southwold. I'm going to extend this track first because it's the one that's going to come out straightest. Bridging. There we go. Now, I know you're thinking, why did you do that? That's gross and ugly. And you're correct. But this is, it's still gross and ugly. But what I need more than anything is just proof that we can get around this corner without causing the end of the world for the Lions Belief. Yes. Okay, can I do that with another track? I don't think so. Oh, I can. My. Now let's just fix this by doing that. And isn't that lovely? Now what this will enable RF Southwold to do is, well, I mean first, let's just delete this. We do not need this. There we go. That makes this significantly easier to understand. And easy to understand is a good thing. Easy to understand is a good thing to be. So yeah, let's continue around this very weird S-bend. And then just... Oh, hello, there we go. Bling. Oh, lovely. Blip. Doop. So yep, we won't be reciting that level crossing, we'll just be making it even more dangerous by doubling the number of tracks. And then signals. RF Southwold should now have noticed, or no, shouldn't have, not yet, on this section, RF Southwold should notice that there is, well, once this side of the route is done, RF Southwold should come to realise that there is a quicker route available to it. First of all, is there anything in the station? Good. Most expensive part of this is going to be deleting that. There we go. And would you look at that? A gross thing, but you know, eh. And RF Southwold no, you manage line L2 and RF Southwold manage vehicle. No, RF Southwold manage line. So the one. Look at that, and then let's see what it does just to make sure that it behaves. It's behaving. That should make RF Southwold a bit more profitable. Wait, which one are you? RF Harley. Let's see if there are any RF Southwold trains. RF Corby. That's definitely not, that's RF Cheltenham. RF Harlow. Yeah, they're all this way. Or they're both this way, even. Which one are you? RF Corby. Which one are you? Passenger train. Nope. I look. So yeah, this one's making one final delivery into RF Southwold this way. Aha! And this one's at the other end. Lovely. I've been going 47 minutes. So what we'll do to round up the episode is we will have this laggy AF cab ride from Snodland to Southwold over the new route. Uh-oh. Oh, why is it so laggy? I don't like it. So yeah, with that, I will see you later.